This diagram illustrates a catastrophic global economic leak. By 2026, 83% of workers struggle with chronic burnout, draining $322 billion annually. The vast majority of this loss stems from presenteeism, where employees are physically present but cognitively incapacitated. The roots of this exhaustion trace back to the Chinese technology boom of the 2010s. Conglomerates like Alibaba championed the 996 schedule, working 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week, positioning this 72-hour grind as a necessary engine for national economic growth. The artificial intelligence boom has since mutated that model into a state of 24/7 digital tethering. In technological epicenters, the baseline for survival has escalated to 16-hour grindcore days, driven by a raw, existential anxiety regarding human obsolescence. Modern workers are trapped in a Sisyphean loop, engaging in relentless, soul-crushing labor to train the very algorithms that may eventually replace them. In this environment, rest is a dangerous liability, treating a biological necessity as a failure of ambition. This factor schematic maps the central executive network, our primary engine for focused labor. Digital technology forces the brain to lock permanently into this high-intensity network. Battered by 275 daily interruptions, the system floods with cortisol until cognitive ability collapses into a profound brain strike. A 16-hour workday guarantees cognitive failure, physically preventing the brain from innovating or processing emotional states. When we ignore the biological need for recovery, we engineer a workforce that is perpetually reactive and fundamentally incapable of deep, sustained thought. Escaping this trap requires the ancient Daoist concept of Wu Wei, or effortless action. It describes a state of dynamic alignment with the natural order, where an individual executes a task without the psychic cost of strain. Like water carving through a mountain, it utilizes intelligent responsiveness to achieve maximum effect with minimum force. Modern neuroscience has mapped this state as transient hypofrontality. By surrendering the desperate need to control every outcome, the hyperactive prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for self-criticism and overthinking, finally quiets down. This surrender automatically ignites the default mode network, or DMN. Within this expansive network, neurons connect freely across disparate regions that are normally segregated by the demands of focus. This unconstrained flow of information is the neurological substrate behind subconscious divergent thinking and nonlinear breakthroughs. As the autonomic nervous system shifts to parasympathetic dominance, amygdala reactivity drops, while the flow of dopamine and oxytocin increases. This shift into a state of felt safety and physiological openness is why some neuroscientists refer to this biological cascade as the love response. Peak performance requires the brain to oscillate naturally between focused execution and effortless recovery. By stepping out of the brain's way, we achieve a higher level of intellectual impact while protecting ourselves from physiological decay. This mastery of the mind is a historically validated technology of the self. For over a millennium, the ancient Chinese scholar official governed a sprawling empire not through inherited status, but through a profound mastery of poetry, philosophy, and cognitive discipline. They utilized the 4 arts, including painting and the strategic game of Go, as rigorous methods to nurture strategic patience and emotional regulation. These practices prioritized composed, ethical reflection over the raw volume of transactional output. A parallel Western archetype, the aristocrat of character, emerged in the 19th century to challenge the rigid industrial framework of the era. This figure was defined by an internal locus of control and moral fortitude, maintaining a dignified distance from the frantic demands of mechanical productivity. Empty time provides the vital architectural space where the mind reorganizes and evolves, allowing the subconscious to engage in deep associative processing. Historically, this unforced idleness permitted figures like Sir Isaac Newton to conceptualize the laws of gravity while simply resting. Modern creative breakthroughs follow the same pattern. The sprawling universe of Harry Potter was synthesized not through forced effort, but during a period of unstructured, DMN-led daydreaming on a delayed train ride. These historical archetypes utilized rigorous internal discipline to preserve a composed mind. They proved that true productivity is a natural extension of character and strategic stillness, not a product of exhaustion. In the 2026 landscape, reclaiming this stillness requires overcoming rest resistance. This is a trauma-adaptive response, where the nervous system interprets unstructured time as a literal physical threat, scanning for new tasks to alleviate the anxiety of inaction. Overcoming this resistance requires titration, the gradual introduction of small, manageable doses of silence. By slowly expanding your window of tolerance, you build the physiological capacity to remain in a state of safety without requiring external structure to soothe your anxiety. This graph tracks our Ultradian rhythms, the biological cycles that dictate human performance. We operate in 90-minute peaks of intense focus, followed by a mandatory recovery window. Ignoring these natural troughs by powering through with caffeine fundamentally damages the autonomic nervous system. Cognitive longevity requires architectural disconnection. By ruthlessly descending your biological rhythms against the multi-billion-dollar algorithms designed to harvest your attention, you transition from a reactive node in a network to an intentional architect of your own mind. This synthesis of ancient composure and biological reality creates the modern sage. This figure refuses to govern through anxiety-driven directives, instead ruling their environment through the quiet authority of internal alignment and character. In an age of generative artificial intelligence, raw processing speed is a losing game. The ultimate competitive advantages are the distinctly human capacities for deep empathy, divergent creativity, and associative wisdom, attributes that only emerge from a well-ordered and rested mind. Success evolves into a continuous, dignified path of self-cultivation, where trading the grind for grace unlocks our highest potential. By stepping into a sovereign space of strategic stillness, we ensure our work is a luminous reflection of our humanity, rather than a symptom of our exhaustion.